What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to episode 76 of Lured Up, the podcast where we take Pokemon Go way more seriously than we do ourselves. Today is Sunday, April 28th, 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Ken Pescator, joined by my co-hosts, Adam Tuttle and Melissa Pescator. What's up, y'all?
Hello.
Hey, we're here.
Hello.
And again, we are not alone today. We are joined by the one and only JTGily in the house today.
What?
Gilly, what's going on, man?
What's up?
Thank you so much for coming on, man. We're really excited to have you.
Thank you, I appreciate it. No, I've been keeping up. I see you guys doing work. You guys are on episode 76 now?
Yes. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Okay. How long has it been going for?
We're doing it like a little over 2 years in different capacities, but probably over the last 6 months we've turned up the heat.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I've
definitely. I mean, your name has floated around the community for sure. People know about you.
That's awesome. Hell yeah. Making
hear.
moves.
Thanks for having me on. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
definitely. All right, little housekeeping really quick. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Please check ours out over at patreon.com/gottawatchemall, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. And that $1 will get you access to our patron exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people.
It sure is.
And I want to give a huge shout out to our show supporter tier patrons, Brittany, Jay, Jessica, Matt, M. Pitts, Terry, David, Chris, Sydney, Bacon L, The Noise, Harry, Poke Navbot, Purple Pancakes, Dem Gears be bangin'. And huge shout out this week to Amanda for joining in on the Discord tier.
Hi, Amanda.
Thank you guys so very much. We're very excited to have you as
All of
part
our friends.
of the family.
The list is getting long.
Yeah, and
the family just
something
keeps
new we're going to
growing.
be doing on Discord starting probably about 2 weeks. We're introducing Friday Night Fights. This is going to be available for anyone that joins on the Discord tier, so $1 a month. And we're going to put you on a fast track to becoming ultra friends with our complete community. And every Friday, we're going to get in a voice chat and get stupid and fight and battle it out in PvP. So it's going to be real fun. So
yeah, but we just don't talk
hope that we
about Friday Night Fight Club. That's all.
Never talk about it.
Stupid. You're so stupid. I want to give a special shout out to our executive producer, Paul Bott. Paul, thank you again.
The man.
As always, I was just talking to him. I'm really excited because he's ranked number 2 in my PvP league. So we're really hoping that he gets a invite to regionals, and we'll get there. Yes. All right, on today's show, we're going to get to know JTGily. It's also been a little quiet in the world of Pokemon Go, so everyone's reverted back to playing Draconius Go.
What?
Again.
Yes.
I'm just going to pretend like you didn't say that at all.
Listen, our
Ew,
Discord's
God.
filled with it.
Adam, I just remember yelling at you the entire way.
I go in the fucking Discord the other night,
Philly
and
Free Streets.
there's all these Draconius Go posts. I go,
Screenshots?
you guys are taking this joke too far. You're actually playing the game.
I haven't played it in so long. I literally open it up and I'm still in like one of the gyms. I'm like, are you serious?
High defense. We'll talk about the lack thereof of events. There's still a ton of shit to talk about, so I'm not worried about it.
thereof.
There's been a research breakthrough in egg pool shakeup. We'll go through that. Earth Day bonuses are going to be hitting this week. There's a lot of excitement here because this is something that kind of crept up on us, and like people are like, oh shit, we are going to be rewarded for this. So we'll talk about that. A bunch of new moves have been added to the code. Last week, Adam mentioned Blaze Kick and potentially that being Blaziken's Community Day move. So we'll talk about the other moves that were added and kind of tinfoil hat speculate on those. And the Silpharina 2.0 has rolled out. Regional tournaments have been announced. And we're going to talk a little Nightmare Cup at the end of the show. But first, JTGily, how are you, man? Why don't you introduce yourself? Let us know who you are, where you're from, what you do. We'll get the basics behind us, and we'll start talking some shop on YouTube.
Okay. Well, hi. Hello. My name is Gilly. Well, my name is Jonathan, but everybody calls me Gilly, as you can tell by my channel name. I'm from the Bay Area, so the San Francisco area in California. I play Pokemon Go. I've been literally playing since day one, like the day one as can get. Like
That's the best.
The first day. So I've literally been playing every day since then. I don't know how proud I am to say that. I guess I'm pretty proud to say that. But I've been playing
don't be
every single
ashamed.
day. Every single day since then. I've been doing YouTube for about 2.5 years now, which it really has not felt like that. Like every time I actually sit down and look at the dates, yeah, I'm like, whoa, it's been 2 years, but it honestly feels like just a couple of months because maybe within the last year or so is when things got kind of serious for me, I guess, or when I started taking it super seriously. But it's been quite the journey. But I've just, it's been amazing though. Like I've learned a lot of things. Obviously, traveled to so many amazing places and been to so many places I never thought I'd go before. I've talked to and been friends with so many communities that are just so nice. Like that, well, I'm sure we'll get into it at some point, but like the communities in Pokemon Go are ridiculously tight knit, and they're all hella cool, and they're all like super welcoming. So like this game, I don't know, this game really is something else. There's nothing like it, to be honest.
Yeah, I think, you know, with the majority of people that we talk to, especially those that get the opportunity to travel and interact with so many trainers from across the world, you can sum up all of their experiences pretty much come down to the community being the real driving force behind not only the motivation for them to create content, but the motivation for them to stay interested in playing, because the community is, you know, what powers this game and what powers, you know, the motivation to get out there and go. So yeah, man, I feel you on that. It's always refreshing and good to hear, because community is what drives the positivity of this game. So that's good shit.
Yeah, no matter what spectrum of Pokemon you go into, whether it be like the card game, the video game, people are very welcoming just in general.
Well, Pokemon is about friendship and love. and all that sweet
and
stuff.
Team Rocket trying to steal Pikachu and
yes. But Gilly, I do want to congratulate you. Just hit 100,000 subscribers. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You're already at like 101 plus. I was just like, it's moving fast. It's moving fast. That's so awesome. So congrats on that, man. That we were all kind of laughing watching the videos from Singapore, and we'll get to that. But you know, everyone busting your chops at the dinner table when
oh yeah, happy birthday.
Adam's like, yeah, we got to sing happy birthday.
Yo, oh my god, I don't know where. I honestly have no idea where that came from. Like, we were just celebrating at. Oh, first of all, thank you, by the way, I appreciate it. We were just all celebrating at the table, and then I guess it was like a hey, and then someone, I don't know who, but someone was like happy. I was like, wait, what? And then it just kept going, and the entire restaurant was singing. And that just kept happening everywhere we went from then on. And I'm sure it's going to happen at GoFest and pretty much every time I see them. So
that's great.
Nice little joke made there, but people liked it. I was laughing. It was hella funny to me.
You get lots of free slices of cake and pie. And
yes. I'm not mad. I wasn't mad at all. I was like, okay, sing it. I was like, we got a free little like ice cream thing at the sushi spot we went to. We got something else from the other spot. Like they were plugging it. So I mean, I'm not mad. I was pretty happy.
So what's your history with Pokemon franchise at large prior to Go? Did you have any involvement with Pokemon before Go came out?
Yeah. So as a kid, I was that kid who collected, you know, Pokemon cards and all that. Still actually have them 2 feet away from me. I was just looking at the binder the other day. I got some solid cards, but I got a ton of Pokemon cards, and actually probably an embarrassing amount of them. I spent a lot of money on that as a child, but I don't regret it. I had a lot of fun.
No regrets.
Played all the games when I was a kid. Actually, I only got up to Gen 5. So after Gen 5, I never played anything. So all those Pokemon, I have no idea. But
that's longer than most. Usually it's the plateau at Gen 3. That's usually the plateau.
Gets a little overwhelming, I guess. But yeah, I played up to Gen 5 and I played the heck out of all those games. I'm talking Game Boy, DS, and I was using the action replays and all that. Like I played that game a lot. And I loved it. So when this game came out, I remember this game was getting like kind of hyped up on Twitter. And I was like, okay, I'm down. A Pokemon game on my phone. I haven't played in a couple of years or whatever. And obviously it's turned into way more than just a Pokemon game on your phone.
It's the way of life, man. It's the way of life.
Yeah. No, seriously. Like just the drive home, I gotta hit certain spots. I gotta check those spawn points.
Well, it changes your daily routine.
Yes. Oh my god, I get so guilty if I don't play. Like anywhere I go, if I'm at a mall, if I'm at my friend's house, I'm like, let me just see what they got around here. You know, like I can't just let it sit in my pocket. So,
or you open it up and see something, you're like, man, I've been sleeping on this Pokestop that's been here this entire time.
Yeah, for real.
So, what team are you? You know, just to get everyone caught up, what team are you? What's your favorite way to interact with the game, and who's your favorite Pokemon?
I'm a proud member of Team Instinct. I believe we're the most underrated team, but we're the strongest at the same time.
Awesome.
So Team Instinct hype. But Team Instinct, my favorite aspect of the game, man, it's hard to say because they really have introduced so much since it came out. I mean, there's shinies, trading, raiding, this PvP, that, you know. So I would say for me, I really do enjoy shiny hunting, as everyone does. I just find so much satisfaction out of it, even though it's not as hard as it, you know, was in the older games. But I never got a shiny in the older games after all the years I played, so I feel like I kind of deserve all of these.
No, I feel you there.
Yeah. So that and raiding. I like raiding a lot too. I'm not really a big like XP guy, but raiding, like just getting good IV legendaries and whatnot is super fun to me.
And what about PvP? So this is always an interesting one to talk about with YouTubers, because PvP is developing this grassroots movement. It's a small movement, but the people that are into it are significantly diehard and very content hungry. So as a YouTuber, how does PvP fit into gameplay for you as a trainer and then as a creator? It seems that PvP is kind of its own path. Like it's definitely its own sub-meta to the game at large. What do you think about PvP?
Dude, I actually think this system is dope. Like, obviously, it's got some problems and it can get a lot better, but like, I think it's great, and I think that it's in such a baby stage. Like, there's so much more that can come to PvP, and I'm sure they're gonna have like something big by the end of this year, like an addition or something. But I think it's great. I definitely know there's a audience for it on YouTube. Right now, for me, I think it'd be hard for me to find content for PvP because there's only so much you can really do. Obviously, all these cups and stuff are really helping, and they're hella cool. And I was just at a little cup competition in Singapore, and that was pretty insane. And it's actually
like a fucking 100-person tournament. Yeah, I had a little one in Singapore, fucking King and Brandon Town.
People take it pretty seriously, man. So it was really cool. Like, seeing a genuine competitive nature from all these trainers in Pokemon Go was like pretty dope to see. But I think it's got a huge potential, especially with AR, man. I remember Nick made a video a couple months ago on like the future of Pokemon Go with AR and PvP and stuff. I mean, if you guys got to go watch that. I don't know the name of it, but
no, I remember. Is that the one where he was like simulating what a battle could look like?
Yes.
Yeah, with different move options and everything. Yeah, I absolutely remember that video.
That's like real. Like that's most likely gonna happen. Like that's not too far off of what they got going on and what they're working on. So like I think this game's got a lot of potential, especially with PvP. Right now, I think everyone's just kind of like, oh yeah, it's there, and some people take it kind of seriously and some people don't. But once they really integrate it better and add more features and incentives and stuff, I think PvP is going to take off, and it'll probably be more important than all this shiny hunting that's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I like about it is it's just another way for trainers to interact with the game, and another thing for people to get passionate about. And for some people, like, they could care less, they couldn't care less. But for some, it's what the draw of the game really is PvP. So that's definitely interesting hearing your perspective as a creator, because it's I've heard just so many different things from creators of how PvP has either completely changed the way they create content, or it's just something like, hey, I'm not gonna go near that realm because it's outside of the wheelhouse. But it's just cool that it's developing this grassroots thing that's just so completely niche beyond, like, for the most part, everyone's going to enjoy shiny hunting. Everyone's going to like doing a raid every now and then. But the PvP, it just seems a little bit more of a barrier to entry than, any of these other sub-metas that we're experiencing in the game right now.
Yeah, I mean, one day, like, obviously, again, when they add stuff to it and it becomes, like, more than it is right now, I can't wait to get into it, man. Like, it is really, really dope, and we did make a lot of content for it at first, and then everyone kind of realized, like, there's only so much you can do content-wise, and so, for the most part, I don't want to speak on everybody's behalf, but it's not the most covered thing, but there are a lot of channels that do cover it, and they do cover it really well. So it's out there. It's
what it is. It's not exciting to watch. It's not, what I mean. So the real joy of it needs to come from the commentary and the coverage and the analysis, and that takes away from a lot of the styles of vlogging style coverage of Pokemon Go. So it's just a different paradigm when it comes to how to produce content.
Definitely, yeah. And then it's always fun to add a little twist, like Mystic 7 and I used to do little challenges, like loser does this, winner gets this. So like you kind of mix in your own little challenges to make it a little bit more spicy, but it can be fun. You can make it fun, especially with all these themed cups and stuff like that.
Oh, hell yeah. So what's your approach to creating content? So, as we've talked to different creators, sometimes they'll talk about like some kind of secret sauce or some kind of thing that's important to them to make sure that comes across in their videos and in their content. Now, for me as a consumer of content, when I watch your videos, what I get excited about is your genuine excitement of just playing the game. Like, you know what I mean? Like I get happy. Like I watch your videos and you make me smile because I can tell that it's an organic, genuine feeling. So what's important to you when you're making your content that to get across to your viewers and to your community? I mean, because it seems that there's so many different styles of video content creation. What does it for you?
The organic, genuine reactions that those are like I have those a lot. Like if you can ask my friends that know me in real life and all that, like that's just kind of how I am. I react to things a certain way. I'm very animated. I guess people like that. But it's pretty dope because I think my content is just super genuine. And I mean, at first when I first got into YouTube, I knew that there was some kind of like base that I had to go off of and kind of, like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that to make it more like professional. And then as I kept going, I was like, you know what? I think the content will be better if I didn't force anything or if I didn't cover anything that I really wasn't interested in. So I pretty much do whatever I find exciting, and I obviously cover all the news and all that, but I give my real opinion on stuff. Like if I don't like something, I'm gonna flat out say I don't like it. I'll say why I don't like it and what they could do to improve something, but I'm not just gonna go out and like shit on it, Like I'll definitely like give my little take on it, and I think it could be a turn off because I definitely had some videos where you could argue I complained about some stuff, but that's just me stating my genuine opinion on something,
which is understandable.
Yeah, and which is what I want. I'm not gonna sit there and if I don't like something, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is great. You guys should really watch this. Blah blah blah. Like I'm just gonna be real about it. So my opinions and my genuine reactions and genuine comments on everything is kind of the base off what I go of, and I it makes it a lot easier. It makes it like less of like, oh god, I have to go record a video, and more of it just like, all right, let's go talk about how I feel about what's going on and how everything's going.
Well, I think from a vlog type setting, that's what's going to be paramount, because then you're capturing the experience. You're not going out there to shoot something like that's so scripted or kind of premeditated. You're just capturing the experience, and I think that comes across well in your videos because they do seem very genuine. Your opinionated segments, that I love that shit, because you're always going to be able to address something, create a dialogue, but also address it in a constructive way. And I think that's the difference. I mean, we're as creators, as consumers, we should be critical. We should be critical of this thing that we're giving so much of our time to. Why not? Why not be critical of it, but do it in a constructive way? And I think that's the big difference when it comes to, people that are just going to go out there and be toxic and, shit on stuff versus people that are going to say, hey, I love this game so damn much that I want to talk about how I think it could be better or what I think they're doing right or wrong. And there's, that's a healthy dialogue. I like that.
Yeah, I got zero problem with anybody who has a different opinion. I'd love to. I always am like, dude, if you guys feel a different way or if you agree or disagree with me, like, let me know, because I read pretty much all the comments of all my videos. I mean, you can go check all my videos. I've replied and hearted and whatever, but I'm always reading them. So like, I genuinely do care about what the community has to say. So when it is a very opinionated video, I do really pay attention, and I'm like, okay, am I just, was that an impulsive opinion, or did I say something right, or did I say something wrong? So I think it's great to get feedback, because I mean, I'm only one person, so just because I feel a certain way doesn't mean you guys should as well. I mean, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and if you guys feel it's a different way, I'm totally understanding of that, and I think that's better that there's two different sides, because we can find some common ground and create a solution for whatever the issue would be.
That I agree 100%. That's that positive dialogue I was talking about. I mean, it's like, if you're just gonna sling shit and fight, that that's not productive at all. But if you can create this dialogue, even if there's 100% complete disagreements in perspective, if you can have a healthy dialogue about it, I mean, it's just gonna make both parties understand each other better, and that's a positive thing any way you look at it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you kind of mentioned the comments thing, and that's something I wanted to get into with fighting burnout. I know the road to hitting 100K has got to be significantly trying, significantly tiring, and when it comes to YouTube, because we see it and you guys have discussed it and talked about it so much, is this burnout that happens from the grind of this machine that has to constantly be churning if you want to play the game of YouTube and stay up on working the machine that is YouTube. So, I wrote, like, do you read the comments? Because I know that stuff can be so jarring and so, so much negativity there. But what do you do to fight that burnout? What do you do to fight that toxicity? And how do you take care of yourself, in such a crazy environment?
So one thing, the comment section, it was something I'm very proud of and super happy about because it saves me a lot of stress. Like, the community that watches me is super positive. Like, my comment section has max 2 comments that are negative. Most of them are just
good.
Oh, that's cool. This is, here's my trainer code, whatever. Where's Gen 3? All those kind of comments. But like, there's no, for the most part, there's really never any negativity. There's no fighting. There's no hostility. And that's one thing I've always been super happy about because when that is a problem, it's really hard to get everyone's, to get on everyone's good side, right? And for me not to have that problem saves me a lot of stress, and I don't have to worry about that, and I don't have to make these people happy or do this or whatever. So in terms of the toxicity and stuff, as far as I go, I really don't deal with anything. So I'm super grateful. Shout out to everybody, by the way. But yeah, super grateful for that. Everyone's really cool.
That's awesome to hear.
In terms of burnout, though, obviously everybody goes through it, and pretty much no matter what job you have, there's a level of burnout that everyone can get to. But I guess with YouTube, it's pretty, it's definitely way more common, and it happens more than once because you're, like you said, constantly churning out content, and it's not something. I mean, it is something you can do every now and then, but realistically, if you want this to be something of value and something that brings value to other people and even yourself, you can't really half-ass it. You really got to give it like 100%. And I learned that the hard way. I would say the first year of YouTube, I forgot how many subs I ended with, but it was like, I think the first year I probably ended with like 10 or 11,000. And then the second year, I think I ended at like 40 something, or maybe just like 30 something. And then after those 2 years of like, okay, oh wow, I'm at 3 years now almost. Never mind. Holy hell. Okay. So, like I said, the dates trip me out. So the first 2 years was like a real, like, I would upload every 5 days, every 4 days. Because I was going to school, full student and all that. So it was not the easiest thing to do, but it took a lot of time to figure out the balance and to figure out like, oh, you can't really half-ass this. Like, you really gotta give it, gotta give it your all. And, I learned that, and through the first 2 years, I was like, man, I'm doing well, but I'm not getting to where I want to be. So this last year, as you guys can tell by the numbers, I mean, I was like, all right, I was being honest with myself. I was like, all right, I could do a lot more, and I could do it a lot better. So I really invested a lot of time and effort and thought into all my content the last year, and it showed. And I was like, oh, okay. Should have been doing this the whole time, but yeah, it takes a level. It takes experience to realize, what's going on and how you handle stuff. And I had to really audit myself honestly, because I think that's something that people have a hard time doing, because they're really for the most part, a lot of people are really easy at letting themselves like cheat, or they'll cut corners and
looking for the path of least resistance.
Yeah, but I was like, all right, let's sit down and really look at it. I was like, all right, you're doing this wrong. This is kind of shitty. What is this? Yeah, so I had that conversation with myself a couple times, and I really turned it around. And I think in my life, and it's been like this for a while now, I've really, I could say one of my most powerful traits, and this is like a personal trait, is just learning how to balance stuff and time management. I felt like I've gotten a lot better with that, with all this stuff that I take on inside of YouTube and out. So it's, it honestly takes experience, and then it takes like a lot of self-auditing of like, all right, what do you do that wastes time, and how could you make that time more productive? And after you have that conversation, you're like, okay, now am I happy? Right? Like, is this all gonna be like, sure, I'm getting like 10 videos out a day, but how much are you sleeping? Do you see your friends at all? Do you go outside? Right. So there's that happiness thing that you have to get to. And luckily with that too, I've been very aware of that. And, if I don't feel like covering something, or if I don't feel like recording that day, I'm not going to go out and force a video. Because one, again, the reaction and the video won't be as genuine as it regularly would be. And two, it's like, sometimes it's okay to just take a break and relax and breathe and make sure you're at 100% when you're doing your thing. Because if you're doing everything, at like half the energy, I mean, it'll show. I think, at least for me, it'll show.
Yeah, no, I think in this content world, it's easy to get caught up in the machine, but it's also easy to see results when you focus your efforts, because everything is so trackable, everything is so measurable and quantifiable, and all that. So it's the hard work you put it in, you'll see a result. And it's interesting to hear, like, 2 years went by, with you still grinding and learning and learning and learning, and then all of a sudden in the last year things get accelerated. And similar kind of story for us, where just in the last 6 months things have really started turning up the heat, and that comes from a refocusing. And I like that auditing thing, because that's kind of like that self-reflection that I did. And I said, hey, how can I make this time more efficient, and juggling and trying to balance all this shit. And once I learned to really, focus on time management, and that's a consistent theme with pretty much everyone that we have on, is once you learn to balance that time management thing to be efficient in your professional life, that's going to allow you to kind of have that flexibility to find joy and pleasure in your personal life.
Yeah, super important for anything you do.
So, your buddies with Brandon, Mystic 7, you guys have this fantastic dynamic. That's how I first heard of you, was through his videos. And you guys fucking crack me up because you have this great super friendship dynamic. Now, when the camera is off, are you guys like that? Like, is that, because it seems so genuine?
Yeah, man. Brandon actually, fun fact, I don't know about him, but he was my first friend in high school. Like, we I talked to people, whatever, but we had the same art class, and I sat next to him, and I forgot how we started talking, but we started talking about video games and this and that. And so he was like my first friend, and we had a couple of classes together. So we've been friends for like almost 7 years now. So yeah, man, we've known each other for a while. We know pretty much exactly who we are, who each other is, and we're like super good friends. Ever since we met each other, we've always played video games and hung out, and we've been in the same friend groups for, again, a lot of years now. So yeah, it is a very genuine relationship, and that's my boy. I mean, we talk a lot. We talk probably too much, but yeah, man, we hang out a lot, and obviously, we kind of got closer with this game.
Yeah, because you guys can travel together.
Yeah, so this game's brought us closer too. But yeah, man, no, we're genuine friends on and off the camera, and I think that's why it's so easy, and maybe why people enjoy it so much, because it's obviously not forced. Right. Like, that's just kind of how we regularly are. And if you meet, if you come see us at meetups or whatever, we're cracking jokes at each other or whatever. So it is super genuine, and I think that's why people like that, because it's real.
All right, I got a community question here I want to throw in. This is from King. Speaking of PvP, won the Singapore tournament that you were out there. King is the freaking man. He knows his shit. But I put an open-ended thing up on Twitter. He wrote a question, and he says, Gilly, what's the next phase in your channel? You have some videos that really stand out from the rest of your videos from a views perspective. What do you think makes one of your videos go viral?
I mean, okay, obviously everyone says this, and I don't like to... It's not that I don't like to admit it, but like, I'd rather not acknowledge it because I don't want to jinx anything. But I have like really good luck in the game, right? And my shiny luck gets kind of nuts sometimes, which is awesome. Very grateful. Appreciate it, PokemonGO gods. Obviously, those videos are pretty insane, and people love seeing all the shiny. So a lot of the videos that do go quote unquote viral are of my like really lucky moments. For example, Pokemon Go Fest being my most viewed video. That video is just literal insanity every minute. Like, it's a new shiny, a crazy catch, a crazy this, crazy that. So in terms of what makes my videos go quote unquote viral, it's just the luck matched with my genuine reactions, and then just the overall excitement of the video. Like, it's just, there's no letdown. Like, the gas is, my foot is on the gas, and I don't let it off until the video literally ends. So
there you go. No, that's a great process.
Yeah, the videos that I just go in and just have so much energy towards, those are obviously the videos that pop a little bit. But to be honest, there's a lot of videos that randomly go viral, and sometimes I don't get it. Like, there's a lot of videos that, and this is something that a lot of content creators have in common. It's they'll work super hard in a video. They're like, man, this video is gonna kill it, and it doesn't. And it just performs like a regular video, maybe even worse. And then a random video will go nuts, and they're like, what? Like, come on, like that's not that wasn't supposed to happen, you know? So that happens a lot. So it's hard to say it's hard to think of like one thing that makes a video go viral, because there's so many different things that people care about and people want to see. But for the most part, the luck and the reactions I think those are it.
Solid, exciting thumbnails of like the oh shit face, you know, like shiny.
And another note on those thumbnails, none of those thumbnails, you can fact check me and watch the videos. None of those thumbnails are posed. Like those are all in video screenshots. So that's fantastic. Not only is the video genuine, the gosh darn thumbnail is genuine. That's a literal screen grab.
That's awesome.
You can find that exact face in one of the clips in the videos.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, as we wrap up here, a couple closing questions that I usually like to poke with our guests here. What are you most excited to see come to Pokemon Go? What's your least favorite thing about Pokemon Go? And, you know, where do you think this game is going to go in terms of how long this thing is going to, you know, be around?
Jeez, man, that last question. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. So, what are you most excited to see to come to Pokemon Go? Man, I guess, honestly, PvP. Like, again, Nick's video really opened my eyes to that, and I was like, oh wow, like this game can get pretty insane, and it could be like first of its kind, as it already has with AR. PvP, I think, has a huge potential, and there really is like it can be an esport, you know, depending on how they do it and how what they add and what they change. It can be a genuine competitive game that thousands of players already do, but like thousands and thousands of even more players could be a part of. So I guess I'm most excited for the next variation of PvP, or the next PvP update, and what they're going to do with the future of that, because I think that's going to be pretty insane for me.
Yeah, agreed. I think that AR definitely is going to be the catalyst to that, because once there's some kind of, you know, like the 5G technology, the latency gets better, you know, and you're going to have, you know, more potential devices that can run this kind of AR stuff in real time on a 5G network with low latency, then we're going to be able to see this game really get turned up, especially from a PvP setting, because then you're going to have AR occlusion, you're going to have, you know, real-time persistent AR anchored items in the real world. So yeah, I think that definitely the connection between AR and PvP is the future. I'm with you on that 100%. What about your least favorite thing about this game?
Least favorite thing? I'm trying to think, man. I'm not trying to sound like a kiss ass, but there's not a lot I don't like.
Box maintenance.
Man, okay, yeah, I would argue that. The coin system, okay, you know what? Yeah, the coin system, I think, needs a major improvement. This is a very small part of the game and really doesn't matter to a lot of people, but I've always had a problem with how the coin system works. One, I think the daily coin limit should be 300 or maybe even 500. I think it should be increased. And the reason why, and I will offer some constructive criticism, if you can get more coins per day, more people will battle the gyms per day, therefore reintroducing the gym battling aspect to this game, because I think that's pretty much gone. Nobody really does it. The hardcore players do it at night. They'll come through your city and take all your gyms. But like, for the most part, I haven't battled the gym in like 3 years.
Yeah, I only do it when there's almost like they're all dead.
Yeah,
they're all at.
So,
their stamina's dead.
I love gymming. I love taking gyms out.
If there was real like incentive, like if there was real coins and not 50 coins, because we all know 50 coins is nothing. You can buy nothing with 50 coins. You might be able to buy some clothes, maybe. I don't know.
Even if they limited it to 80, then at least you can buy a lucky egg. You can get an incense
or something, right? But like with 50, you literally can't do anything. And no, again, nobody's going to touch the gyms because 50 coins means nothing. I'd rather spend $10 than battle 3 gyms. Like, it's just, it takes too long.
Pokemon Herd, Niantic Herd, they're just going to keep the gym system the same. No.
Yeah, man.
No, that's an interesting one, man. That definitely makes a lot of sense, because I've heard the word incentive thrown around a lot, you know, where it's like, oh man, if I only had a little bit more incentive to do that portion of the game, or if I only had a little bit more incentive to get out there and do that. So,
or given your 3 battles per day, you got an extra 10 coins per battle.
Mm-hmm.
Then at least there you go. Yeah, there's the extra 30. There's your extra. That makes the 80. So
even with the old coin system, the 100 coin cap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was, and you could choose when to cash out, like all that kind of stuff. It's. I think that this game will just continue to iterate on all of its systems, but that's a great point, man. I think that incentivizing to bring back, because the gym meta, man, has definitely fallen by the wayside. Raids brought it down, then trades, then luckies, and and now PvP. So I think that's when it comes to the cycle of them iterating on their systems, that's definitely got to be back in the meat grinder pretty soon. But where do you think this game is going to go? Like, do you think that this is going to be a game that can remain as a platform and they can continue to iterate on this thing for years to come? Because, I mean, if we follow the same release schedule of Generations, I think we've got, we're going on, 3 years into the game and we're, 4 generations in. So by this rate, we have another 4 years left in the game. I mean, do you think that this game can make it that long with keeping this same release schedule? Or do you think that they're going to have to accelerate the release of Generations as time goes on?
The thing about Pokemon Go is that every time I think that it's quote unquote slowing down or that there's nothing going on, they just throw something right back at me and it picks all right back up again. So it's hard for me to ever feel like this game is in a bad spot, because every time I think that, the next second an event comes, a shiny comes, a feature comes, an update comes. So there's so much they can do, and I'm sure they have a lot planned. Maybe not exact dates, but I'm sure they have a lot of ideas planned. And now I know they got a pretty good team over there, so this game's got time. I mean, if you think about it, I don't remember exactly when Generation 4 came out, but we only have like 30 Pokemon from it, right?
Yeah,
like
there's still a lot of holes.
Yeah, so they know how to drag shit on. Like they know how to drag the thing on and release it in cool ways, by the way. Like they're not doing it in like a bad way. So they're doing it very strategically, and I think they can carry that out and make it, they can have more events, more updates, more things to spice it up. But this game's got some longevity, and like we've been talking about with PvP, that's obviously, if that takes off and if they do it well, that's going to add another at least 5 years to the game, because even when all the gens are out, you still got PvP to use all the Pokemon with. So I mean, this game, if done correctly, man, this game's got at least 5 years left, which is insane for a mobile game, because only games like Clash or whatever can have really held up like that. But this game's got a really long potential if they do everything correctly, and I think they're going to continue to surprise us how they have every year.
Yeah, man, I think I'm with you.
With the new Shield and Sword Switch game is going to be crucial.
I don't know, man. They're going to do something. Like, we all know they're going to do something.
I hope it's more than just transferring for a Meltan box.
Yeah, because, dude, that's so... I mean, it's cool, but, like, not that crazy.
Yeah, you can only do it so many times and get excited so many times.
Yeah.
Like, I got a shiny Meltan, and I'm like, yay.
So, yeah.
Yay. Now I have 4 shiny... Like, what am I supposed to do with all these?
Oh, come on. You nurture them and love them and show them off.
Oh, wait. No, I can't.
No.
Walk them.
Oh, man. All right. Well, Gilly, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. We really do appreciate it. I think we learned a lot here.
Yes,
and,
we did, definitely.
I love your process. I love your thoughts of how you put your stuff together, and, how you're genuine, and that, like you said, those positive reactions, man, that definitely makes a difference for me in content that I'm watching, because it keeps me positive. It keeps me excited. So thanks again for coming on. Why don't you let our community know where they can find you? Of course, I'm going to link to everything in the description, but let our community know where you're at and where they can find you.
Thank you, man. JTGily on all social media. So Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all that. So if you guys want to follow up with myself and my content and Pokemon Go news and some other stuff, come see me over there. But shout out to the Lured Up podcast. You guys are awesome. I appreciate the invite. This was dope, man. You guys had a good series of questions that was definitely very engaging, and questions that, and this is an important thing, if the questions aren't interesting, then the guest is gonna feel like, oh, this is kind of boring, whatever. These were like good questions. I'm gonna give you that. These were some solid questions. So I appreciate the work you guys put in, because this was a good time for sure, man. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome, man. We're really excited, and we'll definitely be hooking up at GoFest. I can't wait to get out there in Chicago. It's gonna be a blast.
Hold on. What's your favorite Pokemon?
Oh yeah.
Okay, it's a tie between Charizard and Rayquaza.
Oh man, dude.
Two great Pokemon.
yeah.
So
That's a
okay.
toughie.
I don't know if I can pick one. I don't know. Okay, I'll pick Charizard. But,
I was about to say, you gotta go with Charizard.
yeah.
See, but
what about you guys?
I'm a Geodude guy.
Okay.
Adam is Delibird.
And Snorlax
And
all
Melissa is
day.
Snorlax. So.
Yeah, I'm huge into Delibird.
Yeah,
Nice.
freaking
Okay,
obsessed.
solid picks. Solid picks.
But all right, man. Thanks again so much for coming on. Everyone, please check out JTGily, connect with them on social media, and make sure you give them that sub, the notification, thumbs up, all that shit, all that good stuff. Connect, enjoy, consume. Gilly, thanks again for coming on, man. We'll see you in Chicago.
Thank you so much. I'll see you then.
All right, later.